Confidence up there. What did you make of all that first off?
Absolutely loved it. That's the entertainment of boxing, and you've got personalities and egos the size of the Opera House stuck inside the ICC. Let it run. I love it.
Get to Nikita in a sec, but just on Michael Zerafa, Tommy Brown. Tommy Brown says he feels disrespected. Do you see perhaps what?
I think there's a thread that exists and has now since the Tszyu Zerafa saga. And that thread continues on through the media most days of the week in some form or another. And I think, sadly, the two fighters that shouldn't have been left out, Tommy Brown and Koen Mazoudier, sometimes get a little bit overshadowed, and that's a bit sad. But Nikita squared it up. He was very right in saying, I have no interest in the co-main event. He said, I'm here with a very tough fight with Koen Mazoudier. So the exchanges were great. I loved it. Tommy and Michael going at it, and that was expected. And then you've got Koen and Nikita. They're very respectful of each other.
What about that funny moment there with Nikita? What do you make of some of his comments sometimes?
Look, initially when I took Nikita on, I knew he was quirky. I've known him for a long time. He's very, very different to what you would normally see. And compared to his brother and his father, totally different. So I've learnt that nothing surprises me with Nikita anymore. He is a spirit. He's his own soul. He'll say and comment on what he feels on the day, and you get what you get. And it's most of the time funny. Sometimes it's a bit odd, but generally speaking, I think everyone loves the fact that he's quirky.
You know, I saw an article this morning from Nick Walshaw saying that perhaps his fight could have been off. There was weight issues. Any response to all that?
Clickbait. No, absolutely nothing. It was a nothing story. Nikita's weight's perfect. His camp's been perfect. He went over and with his brother in camp, and I suppose when you're involved in that atmosphere at that level with your brother, you're gonna rise with it. So Nikita's really nailed it this time. So no, we have no issues whatsoever with weight.
What sort of a test does Koen pose? Obviously, he's a great fighter in his own right.
Agreed. Great fighter. Koen's one of those guys that you can never really expect what he's going to bring. He's trained the house down, and so is Nikita. They know each other very well, and it's going to be a game of cat and mouse for a while to see who gets to take advantage of whoever makes the first mistake. And it's going to be a great fight. The card's a cracker, the whole thing about this, and it's sold out, I understand. There's nothing left. So that's brilliant. And those that haven't been to a No Limits, especially a Tszyu No Limits show, you don't know what you're missing out on.
You've got a growing stable of fighters as well, a few fighters on this card, and guys like Liam Wilson. Can you give us an update on those guys?
Yeah. Well, it's great to see Sonny Knight, our latest signing. Sonny coming into his third fight. A young fella from Nyngan. Sold the most tickets to this fight. There's about 300 people from Nyngan travelling to support Sonny, which is great. He comes out of the box camp gym with Nate Swadling in Newcastle. So terrific talent, brilliant athlete. Could have gone to the NRL, chose boxing. They say that by far one of the best young footballers out of the West for a long time, and he chose boxing. So really happy to have him join us. Billy Polkinghorne, the Hammer, is back on this card. Billy will be on just about every No Limits card if he has his way and I have my way with Matty Rose. And of course Nikita's headlining. Liam Wilson's having a little bit of a break, just getting his shoulder right and doing some work with Benny. The Bull, we lost him off this card with a torn bicep tendon. He's had surgery and that's been repaired, so he's in recovery. And we lost little Amber just in the last week or so with some health issues. But Vegas will be back in September. Tim will be back in October. So, yeah, it's all go, man. We're busy.
Now, we are expecting some Tim Tszyu news later this week. Do you feel sort of vindicated you've been able to land Tim that IBF shot given the circumstances in Las Vegas against Fondora?
Yeah, it's sometimes hard not to be able to just want to break out and tell everyone what we're doing, but you can't do that. We have a very, very good pathway for Tim and a lot of A, B and C plans. So we do treat it like a business, and so I'm always way ahead of the game in terms of trying to work out what's going to fall and what's going to fall over. And in this case, Matt and I flew out 10 days ago, got the deal done and came straight back for this. So I'm really happy for Tim because he's been in camp now and there's been a few little delays, especially with the healing of the cut. And watch out for the end of 2024 and 2025 are going to be some mega fights for Tim Tszyu.
Now, last one. A lot of people are sort of wondering why Orlando or why Florida. Can you sort of explain that?
I think Backram Mertzalayev versus Tim Tszyu it's a world title fight, but you're talking about Mertzalayev is not a huge seller. And I think PBC have a commitment to travel some of their fights, and if it's a mega fight, it'll go to Vegas or it'll go to LA. If it's not going to be a huge fight in terms of sales, they tend to try and take it to other territories and give people a look at what PBC do and put some of their stock on the undercard as well. So I'm all for that rural travelling and putting the boys out there, because everywhere we've gone with Tim, we've picked up a big fan base, and we expect that the Orlando fans will do the same.
Beauty. I'll see you there.
Pleasure, my man.